The word liberalism, first of all, it is a Latin word which means free. For the new middle class, liberalism stood for freedom for the individual and equality of all before law. Politically, or the political ideas of liberalism is very different. According to them, if there is a government, it should be run by a people, common people. Representatives should be chosen, but not the autocratic or any kind of rich people who comes and start ruling the poor one. Since the French Revolution, liberalism always stood for one demand, that is, remove the autocratic or autocracy. They also are in favor of removing the clerical privileges, but they say that there should be a constitution and there should be a government where representatives are chosen by the common people. That was the political ideas. Now socially what happened was very different in social ideas. For the liberals, the idea of universal suffrage was a good one, but when we really go through the history or French Revolution part, you will see that though they follow the equality before law, still universal suffrage was missing. That means only the rich people who have or who own some property are allowed to cast vote or to be elected as a representatives, and this was very bad against people, those who don't have money or property. Only for a short period, when Jacobins were in power for a short period, they gave the right to cast vote even to all those adult males. However, when the Napoleonic Code went back to limit the suffrage, when Napoleon Code came up in 1804, he removed all this suffrage and all. Then he limited the women's participation, saying that women are the authority of father and husband. Then throughout the 19th century, women were not allowed, as well as non-propertied men were not allowed to cast vote or demand for something different. So these people, the non-propertied people and women, they came up on roads, procession or movement demanding for equal political rights. So these are the social ideas. Now economic ideas are very different. Now liberalism, they always had a different view of market. So according to them, they said a market should be free and the abolition of state imposed restriction on the movement of goods and capitals should be out. It means that the liberalism said that if there is a market, the market should be free. Anyone from any place, they can come and they can go for business, selling of goods, exchange of goods. There should not be any kind of restriction. That is what they said. During the 19th century, this strong demand of emerging middle class was coming up. Means many middle class means they are not very rich, they are neither they are very poor, but they are educated. So educated middle class was coming up. Okay, now Napoleon's administrative measures had created out of countless small principalities in the confederation of 39 states. Each of these 39 states had their own currencies and weights and measures. Okay, now if you are a merchant and traveling from one country or one place to another to sell your good, you have to pass through 11 barriers and pay a custom duty of 5% on each of them. This was a restriction which was followed just before liberalism idea spread. Okay, the liberalism idea, or according to liberalists, they say that the market should be free. And when you talk about what is a free market, you can understand from this. Each of those people means if suppose I travel from one place, place A to place B, place A also have got some currency, place B also had their currency, place C also had their currency. So what happened, if you are moving from A to B, your currency is valid in A, in B your currency is not valid, so you have no chance of buying and selling in place B. The place B people cannot go to C, D in that way. So it was a very bad type of business. Plus, if you are moving from one place to another, you have to pay tax, or we can say custom duties. Okay, 11 custom barriers were there, where you have to pay 5% for each one of them. Then each region, they also had their own weighing system. Okay, now the weighing system or the weighing unit that they had is L. In India, as we have kg, they had L. And in India, for example, 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram, but in L it is not equal. In some places 1 L is equal to, you can see, 54 centimeter. Okay, 54 centimeter in Frankfurt, 1 L. In Manius, 1 L means 55 centimeter, and in Nuremberg it's 65.6 centimeter, and in Freiburg it is 53.5 centimeter. So that was very bad again. Such conditions came to be as obstacles of economic exchange, and thus whoever people are there, they started arguing, and they say that we have to create something different, or let us unify the territory, allowing things to move from one place to another without any hindrance. So in 1834 a custom union came up, and that the custom union was known as the Zollvereins. They came up, and it was formed at the initiative of Prussia, which was joined by most German states. This union abolished tariff taxes or barriers. When you say tariff barriers, means, as I told you, if you move from one place to another, you have to pay some kind of taxes. So this tax or this tariff was being removed. The creation of network of railways also became a very good step taken by these people. Means, if economically it will be good for the merchants. Okay, movement of goods will be faster. Then a wave of economic nationalism strengthened the wider nationalist sentiments growing at that time. Because of this, the nationalists or the national feeling became more strong and strong. After liberalism, our new topic is a new conservatism after 1815. So here we are going to study about the decisions which were taken in the Treaty of Vienna. And this actually happens after the defeat of Napoleon. Okay, in 1815 Napoleon was defeated by European powers. So let's see what happened after that. In 1815, representatives of Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria defeated Napoleon, and France met in Vienna to draw a settlement called Treaty of Vienna. Now, its main objective of the main objective of the Treaty of Vienna was to undo most of the changes that had been that was taken up in Europe during the Napoleonic Wars. It sought to maintain balance of power in Europe so as to prevent any one power from dominating too large an area in Europe. The main intention was to restore the monarchies that had been overthrown by Napoleon. The German Confederation of 39 states had been set up by Napoleon was left out. France lost its territories it had annexed under Napoleon. Napoleon had overthrown the Bourbon dynasty in France, but the Bourbon dynasty was restored, and it was also created as a new conservative order in Europe. A series of strong states were set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. Kingdom of Netherlands, which included Belgium, was set up in the north. Genoa was added to the Piedmont in the south. Prussia was given new territories on its western frontiers, while Austria was given control of northern Italy in the east Russia was given part of Poland while Prussia was given part of Saxony. Now in this way they tried to limit the expansion of France towards the other side. All its borders are being blocked. Okay. Now after which conservative regimes were set up. Now what is this conservative regimes? So conservative regimes, they were set up in 1815 and they were autocratic. They did not tolerate criticism and dissent and sought to stop all the activities that question the legitimacy of autocratic government. If anyone asks that whether the government is good or better or not, they will try to throw that type of people out. There should not be any kind of questions. Most of them imposed censorship laws to control newspapers, books, plays, and songs, and reflected the idea of liberty and freedom associated with the French Revolution. These conservatives believed that the traditional institution of state and society like monarchy, the church, social hierarchies, property and the family should be preserved. A modern army, an efficient bureaucracy, a dynamic economy, the abolition of feudalism and serfdom could strengthen the monarchies of Europe. It means that if there is a modern army and if there is efficient rulers and if the economy is very good, what happens is the feudalism will be abolished and serfdom will be nowhere. Feudalism means controlling of land, big lands. Serfdom means slaves and all. We can remove all these things. Okay, this was the idea of conservatism, and it could make state power more effective and strong. So that was the ideas of conservative, or we can say this was a type of conservative people. During the years following 1815, all the liberal nationalists, they were afraid that they will be hunted down by the conservatives, so they started hiding. As they hide, they formed secret societies and they started working for the country through these secret societies. Most of the ideas of revolutionaries, they started spreading this idea through the secret society. One such individual was the Italian revolutionary named Giuseppe Mazzini. He was born in 1807 in Genoa. He became the member of a secret society of the Carbonari, but at the age of 24 in the year 1831 he was exiled for attempting a revolution in Liguria. But then his exile did not stop him. He simultaneously or subsequently founded two underground societies, namely Young Italy in Marseilles and then Young Europe in Bern. And he selected the people who always have the like mind. Like mind means if he is thinking for freedom, he is electing those people who are also thinking of freedom. Like-minded young people from Poland, France, Italy, Germany, they became the member of this secret society.